Hello. Thank you for joining the California Gambling Control Commission for this quick overview of 3 requirements all licensees need to know. In this overview, we'll outline badge requirements, when a licensee must notify the Bureau of Gambling Control, such as when they have an employment change, separation, or when their contact information has changed, and we'll discuss when renewal applications are required. Badge requirements. Per the California Code of Regulations, Title IV, Section 12106, all individuals performing duties on the gaming floor in a gambling establishment must have a visible badge issued by the Commission, or in the case of some work permittees, a badge issued by a local issuing agency or card room. When required to wear a badge, the badge must be worn in a location allowing public view. Any owner or employee category license for a card room or third-party provider of proposition player services, which we'll refer to as third-party provider from here on, must have a badge. This includes card room or third-party provider endorsees, key employees or third-party supervisors, work permittees or third-party provider workers, including subcontractors or independent contractors. Card room owner-type licensees must wear their badge while in the gambling establishment and if performing the duties of a card room employee-type licensee. A third-party provider category licensee must wear their badge whenever present in any gambling establishment which has an approved third-party provider contract with a third-party provider business licensee that is owned by or employs the licensee, even when not on duty. Non-compliance with badge requirements is serious and could result in violations for both the licensee and gambling establishment or third-party provider. As a reminder, per Sections 12106 F and G of the California Code of Regulations, a badge must not be altered in any manner. If a badge is expired or invalid, it can't be used to gain employment or perform any duties which require a badge. An expired or invalid commission-issued badge must be surrendered to the Bureau of Gambling Control within 30 calendar days, unless requested sooner. If a licensee needs a replacement badge, they must submit a badge replacement request form and the required fee to the Bureau of Gambling Control. Now, let's discuss what a licensee needs to do for changes in their employment or contact information. Per the California Code of Regulations, Section 12004, licensees are required to report to the Bureau of Gambling Control any change in their contact information within 10 days via a Notification of Contact Information change form. This includes changes such as a change in their physical address, email, phone number, or any other contact information. If a licensee has a change in employment, for example, ends employment with one card room and begins employment with a different card room, or ceases to work for any card room or third-party provider business licensee, they must submit a Notification of Employment change form to the Bureau of Gambling Control within 10 business days of the change of employment. If a licensee has a name change, they must submit a badge replacement request form and fee immediately to the Bureau of Gambling Control. This will provide the Bureau the necessary notification of the licensee's name change, which will allow the Bureau to issue a new badge to the licensee with their new name. That was a lot. Let's summarize. If you have any changes in your contact information, you must submit a Notification of Contact Information form within 10 days of the change. If you have a change in your employment, you must submit a Notification of Employment change form also within 10 days. If you have a name change, submit a badge replacement request with the required fee immediately. Submit all forms to the Bureau of Gambling Control. Failure to notify the Bureau within the required due dates can result in a licensee missing important information or due dates regarding their license, which can ultimately result in serious license violations. These notification requirements are outlined in more detail in California Code of Regulations, Title IV, Sections 12004 and 12110. Finally, let's discuss renewal applications. Renewal applications and due dates are thoroughly discussed in the California Business and Professions Code, Sections 19876, 19876.5, 19877, and the California Code of Regulations, Sections 12114 and 12116. You can find a link to the Resource Information Book, which contains all relevant laws and regulations, on our website at cgcc.ca.gov. Except for temporary licenses, all regular licenses are required to be renewed every 2 years. However, the process for renewal must begin months prior to the 2-year expiration. Renewal license applications must be received no later than 120 calendar days prior to the expiration date of the current license. Work with your human resources personnel prior to the due date to ensure time submission. For those renewing, it's important to remember that just because you currently have a license, there is no guarantee that you will be issued a renewal license. Important deadlines must be met. In addition, while in the renewal background process, licensees must respond thoroughly and timely to the Bureau of Gambling Control. If a current licensee has not submitted the required complete renewal application timely, along with the required fee, and has not received an extension by the Commission prior to the expiration of the current license, the license will be considered surrendered and will expire by operation of law following the expiration date. If this occurs, the licensee must discontinue working immediately. Temporary licenses cannot be renewed and will have an effective period of no more than 2 years. If a current holder of a temporary license has not been approved by the Commission for an initial license prior to the expiration of their current temporary license, the applicant must submit a new applicable initial application form, identifying the need for a new temporary license. For a new temporary employee category license, submit an application for Employee Category License form. Fill out Sections 1 and 2 and select the temporary box in Section 2B. For a new temporary owner category license, submit an application for Owner Category License form. Fill out the cover page, Section 1A, and select the second box, which states Initial Application with Request for Temporary License. In both cases, do not forget to sign the application and submit the applicable temporary license fee to the Bureau of Gambling Control. If you have any questions regarding the items discussed in this video or any other licensing background questions, game reviews and approvals, self-exclusion, TPPPS contracts, compliance, or enforcement, please contact the Bureau of Gambling Control by email at gamblingcontrol@doj.ca.gov or phone at 916-830-1700. As a reminder, submit all applications and fees to the Bureau of Gambling Control. The Commission can be reached via email at comments@cgcc.ca.gov or via phone at 916-263-0700. We encourage you to visit the Commission's website at www.cgcc.ca.gov for information on licensing meetings, evidentiary hearings, regulations, gaming policy advisory committee, industry newsletters, answers to frequently asked questions, educational tutorials, and much more. Thank you for watching.